Welcome to the In My Opinion Show with Ronald Barry Robinson and friends. See me on the internet 24 hours, 7 days a week. You can access YouTube on the internet, and in your search engine, type in capital letters RBRIMO to view the In My Opinion Show. I want to welcome my talented and gracious co-host, Mrs. Denise Smith-Allen.
Hi, Ronald.
And Mr. Henry Hatter.
Hi, Ron.
Welcome all to the In My Opinion Show. Before we get started, I would like to congratulate our own Mr. Henry Hatter. Let's congratulate him on his prestigious Edgar A. Guest Award. Edgar A. Guest was a famous poet laureate known for his insights and humanity. Maybe you would like to tell our millions of viewers worldwide, Mr. Hatter, what was your thoughts on receiving this award?
Ron, I've received a lot of prestigious awards, two of which were being the most distinguished graduate from my college and from my high school. And I've received the Salvation Army Award, which was really significant, and many General Motors Public Service Awards. But this one was important to me because it was from the community in which I live in, and I work in, and my kids go to school there, my wife shops there, and we were accepted by our peers in that community. And there's nothing like being accepted by your peers in your own community. Mm-hmm. Even though others throw you away and the dog walk away from you, those people are there for you. And that's what I got from all of it. And I'm so glad that you came and represented the In My Opinion Show. I'm glad that Colonel Jefferson, Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Jefferson of the Tuskegee Airmen came, and several of the judges. And I missed all my friends who serve on this table, around this table, who were not there.
So sorry.
Well, congratulations again,
Thank you.
Mr. Hatter. Let's talk about Republican Colin Powell endorses President Barack Obama for a second term. Colin Powell is a retired four-star general. He was a head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. You don't get any higher than that. And retired U.S. Secretary of State. Pundits are saying he is only endorsing President Obama because he is America's first black president. That's nonsense. We all know why white folks are saying this. Racism is alive and well in some quarters. Why can't people say the truth? President Obama, is the most qualified at this time to lead America. If President Obama was white, we wouldn't even be having this discussion. What's your thoughts, Mr. Republican?
Ron?
I'm not trying to interject the race game here either.
No, I would hope not. Because it is whites in this country that elected Barack Obama. They thought he was a good president. They thought he was a good choice. And we ourselves, as a component of the entire population, thought he was a good choice.
And he will even be better in his second term.
And I can't predict that.
I'm predicting.
But Colin Powell lives in a free and democratic society. And therefore, he can pick and choose who he wants to, and not be compelled by a political ideology or by intimidation or coercion by people of any political party. And therefore, that tells me that the public is willing to trust that man. They trust his judgment, and so do I. I see nothing wrong in a Republican endorsing a Democrat. And what's wrong with being the first black president? Why couldn't he vote for a person because he's the first black president? There's a link there someplace. It doesn't mean that, and they're all blended bloods of Europeans and Africans. So why couldn't Colin Powell endorse Barack Obama? Because there's a relationship there, one brought by nature, and we can't change that. And I don't believe that whites use that. All whites use that as an argument that
Well, I don't believe
blacks
they do.
voted for. The Colin voted for him because he was black. I don't believe the great plurality of whites would not make that argument. But there are some that will, and you have to learn to live with them.
Well, the reason I brought that up is because this idiot from Arizona, McCain, mentioned that, and it went viral. Okay, in the over the internet here a few days ago. What's your thoughts on that, Denise?
I think basically Henry has made a good point in terms of there are people who will make those kind of statements because of their limited understanding of what our president has done and what he's capable of doing. To me, there isn't any other choice but him. We've listened to his opponent, and quite frankly, he leaves a lot to be desired. We would not be in a good place, I don't think, if he is elected. So therefore, we have to look at the fact that President Barack Obama, when he came into office, he inherited a mess. And he has had a congressional delegation that has made it their business to stall and fight him on issues of significance to the American people. And I think those that are politically aware can see it. And so now, there's been some debates. People have watched those debates, but the majority of the people probably didn't watch it, because they're sick of this whole campaign process. So ultimately, they'll go to the polls in November and make a selection. And I'm believing at this point that they're going to use their intelligence and support someone who has their best interests at heart.
Okay, in the same vein, what were your thoughts, or what are your thoughts on the debates, the ones that you witnessed here in the past several weeks between President Barack Obama and challenger Mitt Romney?
Well, interestingly enough, I did not sit through all of the debates because usually the following day there are what I call the Monday morning analysis or quarterbacks, if you will, that sit back and look at the pros and cons of what occurred. But I think overall, both men used strategy. But I think our president used some effective strategy in terms of looking at the issues, not coming across as the angry black man, which I think that was something that he was they were goading him in to try to do, and he stepped all around that because he's, in my opinion, very masterful in terms of his oratory. So I think that he's skillful. He was able to address the issues and talk about those things that are meaningful. And right now, people are concerned about employment. They're concerned about keeping their homes. They're concerned about jobs. Those things are very important. Certainly health care, very important. There are so many things that I think that he addressed, but again, now it's all about the people understanding those things and how they affect them on a personal level.
Absolutely. Henry, what is your opinion?
Well, Ron, I'm sorry to say, my friend, that the baseball game was on, and so I didn't. As Denise said, I didn't watch all of it. But and besides, I was looking from the debate. I don't want to say Republicans talk about the shortfall of Democrats, because Republicans have shortfalls themselves. I wanted to see the debate focus on the strength of the Republican Party and its platform, not about what the other guy's not doing, so they can get a good grasp of where the platform is going and how well it's put together and how well the dialogue that the president would pursue once he takes office. But I got so much of the rhetoric and the rationalizations that I didn't believe anything.
Well, fact check, fact check dispelled a lot of that, a lot of those statements that both parties were making during those debates. All right, and I think we've mentioned this before on this program. Between the Democrats and Republicans, they tell so many damn lies.
They rationalize.
You know what I mean?
Only half truths.
Well,
they
that's
get
a damn
people moving
lie.
in one direction, and that's not the path. The path is somewhere down the middle.
Well, it should be, because you got there's 9 billion people that inhabit this earth. All right, and you're the leader of the
Free world.
The free world, and you got another wannabe leader of the free world. To get up there and tell half truths, as you say, I call them lies. All right, what image is America projecting? Okay, out. That would be my question.
I think that they are projecting the image pretty much that they've always projected, and that is one of being, quote unquote, a superpower. Right now, we certainly are in a struggle to maintain that and continue to maintain allies outside of the United States. I mean, with these various wars that are going on, America has stretched to its limits in terms of the amount of foot soldiers that are in these various countries and things of that nature. A lot of these folks that are coming back are not only broken physically, but broken emotionally. We don't have necessarily resources in place to take care of them like we should. But yet, when they get on TV, the politicians particularly, I mean, they have to present quote unquote a united front, even when they have disagreements. Ultimately, it's about the control that they see themselves as this world power. Okay, but we've lost a lot. We understand that we've lost a lot in terms of our educational programs and the things that we offer people in terms of being in a position with technology and things of that nature to maintain that ability to be this superpower.
The downside of that debate was we've heard all of this before, and we didn't need to be regurgitated on the things. We wanted something new, something different, something inspirational, something that's going to show us what that new horizon looks like.
You're not going to get that in a speech. You're not going to get that in a debate, I should say. You're not going to get that.
But you should, though.
But, yeah, I'm saying, but now, is it because American people don't demand it? Why, or do you have to tell American people what they want to hear rather than the truth?
I think that the truth, as
Do
particularly
American people really want to hear the truth?
well, I think that, but the truth was being presented, at least from my mind, in what President Barack Obama was giving them.
I saw flaws in that.
Of course, there's flaws in everything, but what I'm saying to you is that given what he was handed, okay, when he gave his speech, his inauguration speech, he said this journey was not going to be an easy journey.
I remember that.
He said that. He said, we've got some stuff that we've got to do, and it's going to take us a while to get there. And he's been doing what I can see, all that he can do, trying to work with a congressional delegation down there that has not been all that helpful in getting the agenda done because of partisan politics and personal attacks and agendas.
But isn't that driven by the general public who expects a lot from men who go to Washington and do for something for them that it takes a collection of people to do? And do they have these salient desires for politicians to perform that they would do anything, including lie and misrepresent their missions because the public demands it. If you were to say, well, folks, we've got to have a tax increase to provide for the poor in this country, you lose your shirt overnight. They will call you back from Washington same day. But yet we know
who would call? But who would call?
The people.
It would be that 1% who has the money who's saying, I don't want you to take any of my money from my corporation. It would be people in general.
The corporation. See, this is a nation of laws, not of men. It's a nation of laws. And people people can bring this country down just like that, through revolution, through disrespect of the law. We ought to be glad that Americans, there's a core of Americans that respect our rule of law, or else we would wade into anarchy.
Okay.
So I'm saying, do Americans expect the truth out of the politicians, or do they just expect for them to lie to them? Because just listening to people, particularly in presidential debates, and some stuff is good, and I love the humor when it comes out, either by Democrats or Republicans. But when they talk, here's where I find the flaws. When they accuse the other side, then I find flaws, really bad, big flaws. That we ought to be talking about the strength of the position of the president, the strength of the position of the would-be president, Mitt Romney. What he would do that is not currently being done, and who would benefit from it. You don't have to go in and yell and lambaste the other side so badly that you confuse people. And I think that there's a lot of confusion that goes on.
You know, in that same conversation, all right, I've been diligently searching the internet, worldwide, in fact, and we should not be naive. And I don't think I'm being paranoid. But could the U.S. become the next Middle East? People are angry with our elected officials in Washington, state and local governments. The people are losing patience with all the lies coming from Republicans and Democrats alike. If you follow world news, these are the same issues that have toppled other governments around the world. Okay?
No doubt.
Now, we could possibly, I hope not, but experience some of the same unrest that
was brought here.
Well, that's how this country was established in the beginning. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
All right. Now, could the chickens be coming back home to roost, as Malcolm X said? All right. People don't think about this stuff. All right. Oh, this is America, the strongest nation in the world. Ooh, this couldn't happen to us. But
he said that about General Motors too.
Exactly. Exactly. All right.
But
it happened.
I hope, as you say, that it doesn't happen. But I think in some way things are unraveling.
I don't think there's any way back. With our rise in population and decline in resources, there's no way back. And we've lost our trust in government. So where do we go? We just let things implode in on us for a new beginning.
Well, I think they are imploding.
And yet people will say, "Oh no, you're being negative about that." But that's what people do. People are procrastinators, and they join the other side to be different in their argumentation and can't read the signs that Job had on the wall. Was it Job? Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was Job.
Who are you talking? Tell me the rest of the story.
Biblical story.
Okay.
See, folks,
yeah.
See, folks, this is our job to bring this information to you. The glass is half full, or is it not? Okay. This is our job to put some thoughts on our millions of viewers' minds out there. All right. That we must be cautious. All right. Any more thoughts?
Well, I hear you saying being cautious, but I think we have to do our due diligence in terms of looking at issues and looking at politicians and making the necessary connections between what they say and what they do, and also hold them accountable by way of communication. You know, I think it's very important, and I think a lot of us have lost our way in terms of doing that. That's a process, one of the unique processes that occurs in the United States that other countries don't have the benefit of. And so if we, through our inactivity or you know, like putting our heads in the sand and expecting someone else to take care of this problem, if we don't deal with it, it's going to deal with us.
I agree 100% with Denise. I think that she has a positive spin on that. And perhaps there is a way that we can formulate a new strategy to save our country from its implosion. You know, like as we said, lots of things are going to happen here with the decline of resources and the rise in population. That just stresses everything because people don't want to share the little bit that they have. And the people who have it don't want to share theirs either. So that we, as you say, distribute wealth in the country. So that's not going to happen. So what we need to do is by 2050, when we have this paradigm shift, there's going to be a real struggle.
But we can't wait. We can't wait. We can't wait another day.
But it will. We can help to stem that off, or to begin now a conversation that can help us when that time arrives. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. This may be controversial. Wake up, Flint, Michigan, and smell the rot. Flint citizens, you are imploding from within, not only by the criminal elements, but by the state's appointed so-called ineffective and self-serving appointments, to the tune of hundreds of thousands of taxpayer dollars, perhaps even millions yearly. We must include its 21st century deadbeat. Do you hear the sucking noise? It's your tax dollars being sucked up by the non-performing elected appointed officials that call themselves appointed. I didn't say anointed, which includes the mayor, city council, school board. Maybe we should call this the Godfather segment. Has there been deals made by the Mott Foundation other than paying the salaries to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars for employees that supposedly work for City Hall? Are these deals a good neighbor policy? Is it philanthropy? Let's be real. First and foremost, Mr. Mott was a businessman. Remember, in this world, you never get anything for nothing. If you remember in the Godfather movie, Vito Corleone, the Godfather, who was head of a powerful underworld crime family, would make people an offer that they couldn't refuse. We know what happens. We know what happened if they didn't play the game or do what they were told. People want to say that the movie was fictional, but make no mistake, reality of it occurs every day in politics, business, and in our communities. All one has to do is watch your local world news for that reality check. Let me make myself clear. Nobody is saying Mott is a crime family. Who wants to tackle that? Henry?
I don't think I understand the essence well enough to really make the statement, because I support the Mott Foundation.
Okay, well, this has got nothing to do with Mott. I mean, the question is Mott, as I said, Mott was a businessman. Sure. All right, you're in business. You're in business to make a profit.
Right.
All right. Now, is there any profits being made out of his benevolence, if you will? All right. What backroom deals have been made? All right. Why would Mott Foundation pay somebody hundreds of thousands of dollars, all right, and then they work for the city? Okay, that's my question.
Okay, I guess I'm a little confused about this question myself.
Well, you want me to try first?
Sure,
yes,
go
please.
ahead.
Okay, the Mott Foundation, there are, in the city, there are 3 entities that basically guide the stability of the system of the city. City Hall, General Motors Corporation, at least it was, and the Mott Foundation. Those were the three entities that governed the overall well-being of the city.
Nobody elected them. They're not elected officials.
They don't have to be. They could be philanthropists. They're they provide money to fill in the gaps here or there. They provide resources to fill in the gaps there. When the city is wobbling or fading for some reason or another, and it can't get its act together, they pump little resources in to help restabilize it.
Why didn't they do that instead of bringing in this financial manager?
That wasn't their call to make. That wasn't their call to make on the financial manager.
That was the governor's.
Well, yeah, but if they're so interested in the welfare of the city, it seems like to me, you know what I mean, and they want to give out these millions of dollars, why didn't they help the city balance the budget? Write a check.
But Ron, without the Mott Foundation, there would be chaos in the community. They stabilize.
I'm just asking a question. That's all I'm doing here.
This explains. They stabilize attitudes toward government stability, community stability, individual stability, so that we can all live together. Otherwise, it would be absolutely deplorable living in the city.
Well, this has been a wonderful, wonderful conversation. We'll take a look at this at some other time. I want to thank our millions of viewers worldwide, my excellent co-host, Mr. Henry Hatter, Mr. Denise Smith-Allen, and our fantastic technical crew. This is Ronald Barry Robinson and friends saying until next time, stay focused.